The Kwang Yang Motor Company, Kymco, takes on some pretty heavy hitters in the low-displacement scooter market with its Like 150i. It carries itself with an overall modern look that borrows from classic influences with tasteful results. Power comes from the thumper that rocks electronic fuel injection to help the Like meet US emission standards. At a glance, it looks like good basic transportation, but the devil is in the details, so let's dig in and see how it stacks up against the mainstream. Recessed turn signals complete the forward lighting, and as with the rest of the Scoot, they rely on LED technology to get the job done. The backside of the headlight housing contains the all-digital instrumentation that steers the design into futuristic retro territory. That's the factory's language, not mine, but it fits. Below the steering and controls, the inner fairing sports a wide, if shallow, glove box that will hold your mobile device and charge it via the USB port contained within the drive, secure compartment. A little further down the steering column is another door that conceals the fuel filler cap. The 1.8-gallon tank rests under that oddly thick deck, so it's a short trip from the filler to the reservoir, and of course, placing the weight right there pulls the center of gravity right on down. Under the flip-up seat you'll find the usual storage cubby, but if you're looking for room for two helmets, you need to start researching a maxi Scoot, or a mini-max at the smallest. The Like 150i will keep a full-face bucket and a few sundry items dry, but that's about it. A few subtle details in the sheet metal along the flanks give the rear end the same understated look as the front for a nice continuity of design, and I guess the same could be said of the rearward lighting. It rocks bright LED emitters in a rather outrageous pattern that doesn't conform to accepted norms. Does that count? A deep rear fender contains the spray from the rear wheel and mounts the tag to complete the equipment. A proper underframe supports the structure rather than relying on the stressed skin method. The factory beefed up the bones by dropping the old single down tube arrangement in favor of a double down tube / double cradle frame that is much stiffer overall than the outgoing model and comes built to mount the ABS feature. Hydraulically dampened telescopic forks support the front end on 3.74 inches of travel while the swing-mount rear end falls under the control of a pair of coil-over rear shocks that deliver 3.39 inches of travel and come with adjustable preload to boot. I suppose that at 12 inches diameter, the cast wheels could be larger, but at the end of the day they fit well with the design and there is certainly something to be said for that. Bless their hearts. The designers chucked on a modern hydraulic disc brake out back instead of the old drum brake, and both ends run a twin-pot anchor with ABS coverage all around. I know it would be easier to just chuck on a drum and call it done, so I have to give the factory its due credit here. A 110/70 and 130/70 hoop lines the front and rear rims, respectively, to round out the rolling chassis. Power comes from the 4-valve thumper that runs a 59mm bore and 54.8mm stroke for a total displacement of 149.8 cc, right up against the implied 150 cc mark. The valve train is both light and simple with a single overhead cam to take care of the business of timing the poppets. This plant is button start only, so if you're dead set on the romance of kicking your steed to life, this ain't the Scoot for you. For everyone else, this is good news indeed. Electronic fuel injection meters the push-o line to milk an economical 85 miles out of each gallon. As for the power figures, they are about what you'd expect. The little mill grinds out 8.7 pound-feet of torque at 6,500 revolutions per minute with 13.5 horsepower that tops out at 9 grand. Forced air cooling eliminates the waste heat, and that comes with the benefits of simplicity and lighter weight versus a liquid-cooled engine. As usual for a Scoot, a continuously variable transmission uses a belt and pulley system to keep the engine in the usable power range with the expected twist-and-go operation and seamless, clutchless shifting. The factory doesn't specify a top speed, but I expect you're going to want to stay off the interstate, and watch your back on highways too. The 2018 Like 150i rolls for the low price of $2,599 MSRP, with a 2-year limited factory warranty. This year, the palette includes blue metallic, red, pearly white and gray. Thanks for watching.